yeah.
That was
All right,
awesome.
let's knuckle down. Let's get the show on the road.
Yeah.
All right, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Welcome to Two Designers Walk Into a Bar.
A place where pop culture loving creatives
Discover design icons that make us tick.
and we share a few cocktails in the process.
Yep.
Today, we shine the spotlight on some unsung heroes of the design world.
Underappreciated logos.
The ones you sleep near in hotel rooms
Or the ones you seek out to fill your own gas tank.
or your own stomach, and put a match to when you want to have a little fun.
Yeah. So put that little special something in your evening coffee.
Or kick back with a local brew and join us as we walk back into the bar. Todd, do you like 80s rom-com movies?
Of course.
Okay. Do you know how in the movie when there's the popular girl and she goes to the dance, and then there's always sort of the nerdy girl with the glasses who goes to the dance, and then she takes off her glasses and suddenly everyone realizes how beautiful she is, even though she was...
She takes the glasses off in slow motion
Yes,
all the time.
yes, and maybe
Yeah,
shakes
I know.
her head and her hair
Yeah.
falls down out of the...
And the music changes.
Yeah, yeah, and then all of
Yeah.
the boys turn around and are just awestruck by her beauty.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But we're
but-
not talking about movies today, right?
Well, we are talking about hidden gems. We're talking about logos that maybe have been part of our lives, hidden in plain sight, maybe constantly overlooked by the Apples, the Targets, the Nikes, the Cokes, you know, the popular girls on campus.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, so we're going to dig deep into some things that we probably all have seen, or maybe some of us have seen. We may not have looked at it twice because it wasn't a case study of logo design. And we're going to look at how beautiful they are, right?
Yes, these aren't Paul Rand beauties, but they're beauties nonetheless.
Well, beauties is beauties, right?
All right, let's get started.
Okay, so we each have a couple of examples to talk about today of hidden gems, underappreciated logos.
Yes.
Give me your first one.
Okay, well, my first one is from the animal kingdom. And my first
Okay.
one is also from, well, let's see if we can drill down on this a little bit. I'm going to give you 3 hints, and you can tell me if you think you can figure out what it is, okay?
Oh my God, that's going to be hard. I mean, you're talking about a bunch of logos
I know,
out there, but
I
okay,
know, I
let's
know.
play along.
All right, I'll give you a hint. The animal in the logo, he is the king of the jungle.
Okay, so it's Snoop Dogg.
Right, or,
Okay, a lion, Snoop Lion.
yes. Well,
Okay.
let's just go with lion.
Just go with lion. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And this lion really enjoys a beverage.
Okay, I need another hint.
Okay. And he tends to enjoy his beverages when he is on the road, maybe at work or staying in a hotel.
Okay, so it's a service of some kind, a beverage, like a coffee service of some kind, right?
Yep. You're getting warmer.
Okay, I'm getting closer to the lion. Royal Cup.
Yes.
Okay.
And Royal Cup is a logo that I just adore. I don't really remember where I first saw this logo. I don't remember if I was staying in a hotel.
I see it on trucks all the time.
Yeah. I've definitely seen it on some trucks as well. So I started digging and I started to do a little research. We would cross paths every so often.
Right.
And,
you and the king.
Yeah, well, no, it wasn't Elvis. Focus on the lion.
Oh, okay. We're talking about lions.
Yeah.
Okay,
Todd, I know you love Elvis, but let's focus on the task at hand.
I love Elvis, but I do love a coffee drinking lion too. Tell me about this company. then.
Both are high energy. Okay, so and they both have beautiful manes, beautiful heads of hair, right?
They do.
They do. Royal Cup is this family-owned, believe it or not, beverage company, started in 1896 in Birmingham, Alabama. They have a great website. We'll post links to it, and it tells all the history about Royal Cup. So it's a wonderful logo. It's this symmetrical male lion's head, this beautiful flowing mane. He has a crown sitting on the top of his head, and he is sipping sort of a little teacup of coffee, and he has his one arm coming into the logo. But what the designer did, and I have researched this, I've actually asked Royal Cup to get back in touch with me, and I don't know who the designer is. So if anyone out there did this or knows who did it, please, please, please email us. Hit us up on social media. Yeah, let us know, because this is an unsung hero as far as I'm concerned.
That's right.
So the lion, his arm is a knocked out negative piece of the mane, but the designer was able to make it symmetrical, and it totally works. So when you see Royal Cup, of course, you first see the lion, then you start to read the crown, and then sort of the third level of information is, oh, aha, I get it. He's drinking coffee. These guys sell coffee. I just love this logo.
So how funny is it that you have a lion, first of all, drinking out of a little dainty teacup? Because of all the teas that I've been to, I've never seen a lion drinking any tea or coffee, for that matter.
Have you ever seen Mr. T?
I have seen Mr. T, and he does have quite a nice mane as well, as a matter of fact. This is really getting into kind of a meta space, isn't it?
It really is.
Okay, so that's very cool. Ellie, that's a really elegant take on a member of the animal kingdom, a feline member of the animal kingdom. I've got one that's probably on the other spectrum, although very appreciated, not quite as probably classy as that.
Todd, are we driving through the neighborhood of lowbrow culture again?
Elliot, you and I are taking a baseball bat to the mailboxes of the neighborhood of lowbrow culture. Let me give you a hint and see if you can pick it out.
All right.
So I've already given you a clue. It's part of the feline world, right?
Okay.
Okay, so start guessing. No, I'm just kidding. You probably need more than that. This company hasn't been around as long as Royal Cup, but it has been around since the 1940s, and of its type, it is the oldest registered company brand in the U.S.
Wow.
Okay, so,
okay.
and also, okay, all right, let me give you another. I mean, that's not very helpful. The name of the company is also a feline.
Is it Bobcat?
No, that's a good one, though. It's, okay, they make a lot of money off of their apparel, and you've seen it.
Ooh.
You see it around holidays, like the 4th of July.
Oh.
Or New Year's Eve.
Oh, boy. Could we say that maybe this company, they pack a punch? They always
it's explosive.
They always end things with a bang.
Yeah, big happy finish, man. Yes, we're talking about Black Cat fireworks.
I love it.
Yes, yeah. Okay, so they've been around a while. Oldest fireworks company brand in the U.S. And the logo, for those of you who haven't seen it, and I'm sorry for your loss, you'll get to see it on our website because it's absolutely gorgeous. Used in a variety of different ways because they're like standards manuals. Puh, who cares? It's mostly the head of a black cat screeching against a yellow background. The cat has yellow eyes, a red nose and mouth, and blue whiskers. And the word black appears above the head in red. The word cat appears below in yellow. And it appears like the cat is coming out at us from between the types. So it is like whoever drew it and designed it said, we're using all the colors. You know, that's it. We're just going to use all the colors, and it's going to be as vibrant as possible. It's obviously hand-drawn, and it looks like an explosion of color, which is really cool to me. It could also be used like the black cat against a black background, so you just see eyes and mouth and whiskers, which I think is really cool if you're buying apparel for them, of course, black on black. And, you know, if you didn't know, and again, I'm not so clear on what black cats have to do with fireworks, other than the screeching sound, maybe. But if you didn't know, you could think that this logo probably could pass for a rat killer, too. It looks just like that.
Well, I would argue a black cat is a rat killer.
That's true. So this logo could be as great on fireworks and rat killer, because it looks like, when you look at it, it just looks like excitement and a little bit of scariness.
Well, yeah, I would say probably gunpowder is black.
Well, okay, maybe that's where it comes from then, right?
Yeah, so do you know...
And gunpowder kind of has sort of this explosive nature, like this angry cat does.
Yeah, and to your point a second ago, a cat screech, and a couple alley cats are getting in a fight. They start caterwauling and they sound like screeching fireworks.
Sounds
so I think
like fireworks.
Yeah, I think it's really perfect. Do you happen to know who drew this logo?
I do not. I couldn't find that. My guess is it probably has been around for a while, but if anyone out there knows, please do let us know, because I would love to talk to this master.
Okay, speaking of the master, I am going to stick with the cat family. I think I'm sensing a trend here.
Okay.
But I am actually going to take us overseas, and I'm going to take us to 101 years ago.
They had cats back then?
I think they'd just been invented.
Okay.
Well, we'll have to check on that. We'll have to,
Wikipedia will tell you.
Yeah, well, that means you'll check on it then. For those of you who know me, I don't think I've mentioned this actually in a podcast before, but I have a brother a few years younger than me who happens to live overseas. He lives in Japan. And my family, several years ago now, went over to visit him in Tokyo. So we get off the plane at the airport, we get our bags, and we walk out, we meet him, and in the lobby of the airport, I look up and I see this amazing black and yellow logo that is an abstraction of a mother cat holding a kitten. Yes. So if I were to show you that, what industry do you think that would be for?
Gosh, it could be anything from parenting to
but why would that be at an
safety?
airport?
Oh, the airport, yeah. Oh, security of some kind.
Getting there.
Okay, yeah. Luggage, carrying stuff, transport.
Yes.
Okay.
Logistics. Yep. So it is a logo for Yamato Transport Company. And I love this logo. Actually, I love this company. I am a cat person, an unabashed cat person. And Japan is an unabashed and shameless cat country. If you think about Lucky Cat, Beckoning Cat, of course, you think about Hello Kitty. Cats are huge in Asia, definitely huge in Japan. As I mentioned a minute ago, this logo is a yellow oval, and it is a mother cat carrying a kitten in her mouth. And that symbolizes the company's promise that they will take care of your item or your cargo entrusted to them, just as though this were a precious package in their own family. So it's a mother cat taking care of a kitten. And as soon as my brother mentioned what this company is, I knew it. I immediately understood the logo. And I love that it wasn't UPS.
It's not a truck or a shield or something.
Doesn't have an arrow in the negative space. Sorry for those of you who haven't figured that out yet with FedEx. I blew the mystery
the one
up.
person out. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
And guess what? In The Sixth Sense, the guy's dead.
I've been meaning to see.
It's a 20-year-old movie. Come on.
Hold on. Wait. Now I got to go change my Netflix queue.
Okay.
All right. Well,
I have a question. I have a real quick question.
Yeah.
Does Yamato, is that a person's name, or does that translate to something in Japanese?
So Yamato was an ancient name in Japan and a period in the country's history. The founder was a gentleman named Yasomi Ogura.
Okay.
And he also is the guy who drew the logo.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes. In Japan, their trucks are all over the place. And they even sell, you'll love this, do a quick Google image search. They actually sell small boxes that are little cat playhouses that are shaped like their trucks and printed like their trucks. It almost looks like a mystery machine from Scooby-Doo, but for your cat. Like, it's great. The company in Japan is referred to as Kuroneko, which means black cat in Japanese. And actually their URL, if you look at it in the Japanese URL, is actually Black Cat Yamato.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, isn't that brilliant? And what I love about it, being a transport company, it has to go overseas. Obviously, it's going between Asia and the U.S. And in that sense, I would argue this logo is actually far more brilliant than FedEx or UPS, with apologies to now Landor and Future Brand. And the reason I say that is because there's no language barrier.
Yeah.
It's this picture that once you know what it is, it makes total sense. And in fact, I won't get into the deeper story, but one time I was at a design conference and I was wearing a shirt that had nothing but this logo on it. And a guy appeared out of the shadows and pointed at my shirt and said, "Hey man, isn't that some kind of Japanese shipping company?" And this is an American guy. And I said, yeah, it is, Yamato. And he's like, I thought so. And then he vanished and just sort of disappeared again.
Like some kind of hipster dude. You were at like an expensive coffee shop. Right?
He would know. This was at a hotel lobby, and I think he was kind of like a design goblin or something. I think he just kind of appeared, some kind of magical creature, anointed my shirt, and then just poof, in a puff of green smoke, he was gone.
Like, as goblins are tending to do. That's amazing.
Okay, Todd, what is your second logo?
All right, so I'm sticking with the animal kingdom, but I'm finally getting away from the family of felines. Have you heard of Munsingwear, Elliot?
I have, yeah,
okay.
Like golf shirts and things like that, right?
Well, and before that, they made underwear, or as it's pronounced here in the South, draws. So they made underwear and military garments. They're based in Minneapolis. So they introduced a line that I love. Actually, I love the clothing line. And they introduced it in 1955, the original Penguin. You familiar?
Yes.
I love the line of clothing. It's retro. It's cool. And the logo doesn't look like it's changed from 1955 either. As I said, Munsingwear was known for something called union suits. Have you ever heard that term?
Isn't that the good old long underwear with the trap door in the back?
It is. I never knew that. But yeah, union suits is just code words for long underwear.
Well, Todd, you got to keep in mind the state I grew up in was part of the Union.
Oh, okay. We could not have called it that in the South, I guess.
You called it a Yankee suit.
We called it Yankee draws. All right, so and they're also, Munsingwear is credited for creating the classic golf shirt, which we now call polo shirts, right?
Yes.
But let me tell you about this logo. The original penguin, it's hand-drawn. It's a hand-drawn penguin. It's decked out with a collar and a tie because you know how fly penguins are when they dress.
They're always wearing a tuxedo.
That hand-drawn penguin is complemented by a hand-drawn logotype, which reads Penguin, with the words "and original" above it. All of that looks hand-done. Like even today, when you go to the website, click on that link on our website, you'll go right there, and it looks like it's hand-drawn, which I'm sure someone has scanned it from 150 years ago when it was first created. But it still looks hand-drawn and imperfect and rough. And the penguin looks like it has duck lips, which I think is spectacular. But it's just beautiful in its originality and its uniqueness. What I love about this is they have not really appeared to change from the 1950s. So I'm sure, I bet, Elliot, like being in Minneapolis and being sort of hipster wear, I bet they've had a long line of designers lining up, approaching them to redo the logo, to make it, like, I'm doing air quotes, relevant for today, to bring it, more up into the social space and, all that bullshit that we designers tell clients when we're trying to redo something. But nope, they have stuck with it. And it was even bought by Perry Ellis some time ago, that from Munsingwear. So still not changed. They're sticking with the roughness of the OP, the original penguin.
And in your research, did you find who pulled that original mark together?
Nope. I can only assume it was done by a staff designer at Munsingware at the time, but no names associated with it.
Yeah, unsung logos, unsung heroes.
I love that. What a great title for this episode.
All right.
Okay, you go ahead.
Yeah. So last but not least, I'm going hyper local with my third logo.
Okay.
And
again, remind people your hyper local is Winston-Salem,
North Carolina. Yes, not your hyper local. My hyper local is about 2 hours in the car for you.
That's right. I'm still like your sunshine gets there a little bit later than it does here.
That's true.
It's pumped in there, but yes, your hyper local, Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
Yes.
Great city.
Yes. Okay. Now, I'm going to allow you to try to figure out yet again what this logo might be all about. Okay?
Oh, man, please. I don't know that much about some of the... Okay, all right, let's go for it.
All right, okay. I am going to give you 2 hints. Okay? And the first hint is, like you deviated away from cats, I am finally following your lead, and I'm going to be doing the same thing. So this is not a cat. Okay? So that's not one of the hints. Well, I guess
that opens it up considerably.
I guess it is a hint. Yeah, but there's one animal. I would argue 2 if we're counting a lion that you can go ahead and cross off your list. Okay. So, it's an insect. Okay. All right. But it is also for a local gas station.
Okay. Okay, so it's not a tiger, so that's a feline.
No.
A dinosaur?
Nope, it's not Sinclair.
Okay.
I'll give you a hint. It's a pun.
Okay. A pun. A pun on cars? A pun on gas?
Gas.
Gas holes?
Maybe those are the people with the gas guzzlers who go there too often. I don't know, but I like that. That might be a great name for a gas station. Yeah. I'm going to pitch that tomorrow.
Okay. All right. So it's something to. Okay. All right. So you agree? Some kind of pun with gas.
Yes.
Gas stop. Gas. Okay.
Keep in mind, I said insect.
Insect. Gas. Gashopper.
Yes, gas.
No.
Good guess. Ding, 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 ding. You win a free gallon of unleaded gas. You just have to drive to Gashopper. Well, drive here first. I'll give you $3. Then you can drive to Gashopper and get your gas.
Cool. Take it.
Yeah. Hey, take what you can get, man.
Yeah, man.
So
tell me about it.
Yeah. So this gas station, I will freely admit, I do not know the history of it. I've been in Winston-Salem for over 20 years. This gas station has been there the whole time. It's a couple miles from my house, and I just love this logo. Of course, it'll be on our website, so folks can go and look at it if they don't live around Gashopper. And I'm going to deliver a piece of bad news. Even if you do live around the Gashopper, they are currently in the process of upfitting and redoing the station, and I fear this logo is going to go away forever. So
What?
I will tell you, though, why I
What
love
about
it.
the name? Are they going to keep Gashopper?
They're going to keep the name, but I also have an additional reward that might be worth the drive to Gashopper, and I'll explain in a moment.
All right.
So basically, this is a word mark. It's the word Gashopper painted in green, and whoever at whatever sign company or whatever local genius did this translated the word mark and added a few flourishes so that it looks like a grasshopper. It is a wonderful, wonderful logo. Whenever I drove by this gas station, I just thought it was the greatest thing. And I always felt that the folks coming and going, getting gas, getting snacks, whatever, just really had no appreciation for this thing. And,
Right.
But as it turns out, there is a microbrewery in Winston-Salem called Hoots, and it is literally a block away. It's a stone's throw away from this gas station. And they have an IPA called Gashopper. And what we will do, we will post a picture of the can on our website, done by a great firm here in town in Winston-Salem, friends of mine, called Airtype. So they did this identity for Hoots. They subsequently did this can for Gashopper, and it is just absolutely great. So it celebrates the neighborhood, celebrates the gas station, and I just love the visual pun that comes from the execution of this logo.
Okay, so it's the word grasshopper, and it's made to look like a grasshopper.
Yes.
All right. Do you say a little bit more about that?
Absolutely. Well, this guy's got some legs. He has the G. The counterform of the G is an eye. It's the grasshopper's eye. It's this red eye. Then the bottom of the G, the descender of the G, it's all lowercase. The descender of the G forms the jaw, the mandible or whatever of the grasshopper. It's a wonderful, wonderful mark.
Oh, man. That sounds awesome. Did they know how cool that mark is at Gashopper HQ?
Boy, I really wish they did. One other thing I want to bring up real quick as well is that the G also has a couple antennae coming off of it. And so it's like truly the grasshopper's head. And then the P's, whoever put this together, the P's are kind of bouncing a little bit, the lowercase P's, and the descenders on the P's turn into the haunches of the grasshopper, so it's his powerful rear legs. Because it's a lowercase g in the front, he's also smiling. He kind of looks like he's about to say something.
Right.
I adore this logo, and I'm really, really sad that there's a good chance it's going away, and by the time people hear this, it might actually be gone.
Oh man! Do they sell apparel and things like that with this?
Well, luckily the brewery does.
Oh, great!
Yeah, so it's not the actual logo, but it's reasonably close.
Okay.
Again, I don't know who did this. I swung by the Gashopper and asked them, and they had no idea. And really disappointed because the station's getting redone. They have a big LED sign it's on a corner of two streets, a busy corner. And so there's this LED sign, but it just has this sort of corporate sterilized GH monogram with some kind of swoop or swoosh going through it. And no one coming there is going to know what in the hell GH stands for. It was brilliant because it was the Gashopper. And just this idea of like you hop in, you get what you need, and you hop out. Like it just worked on so many levels. I love it.
Man, that is hyper-local. Okay, I've got one more that began as hyper-local, has certainly spread a little bit, and actually I'm going to take a major departure, and this is not going to be an animal at all. So hold on to your panties, Elliot. I'm going to give you a couple clues here to guess.
Okay, well, let me put on my belt and let me tighten my suspenders.
Okay,
and snap my union suit back up.
I thought you were going to say, first let me put on my panties. Okay, this is not local to me here in North Carolina. I'd heard about this place on the West Coast. I had clients in Portland, Oregon, it being on the West Coast, and immediately went and checked this place out. So it started in Portland, Oregon, and I'll tell you that it is a donut shop.
Mm.
No, okay.
You know what? I am going to go. I am somewhat of a donut connoisseur.
Oh.
And I have not personally ever been to Portland. I've been all up and down the West Coast, but the rest of my family has been to Portland. My wife has been to Portland many times.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're saying Portland and you're saying donut, I think I might be able to triangulate in on this very quickly, but I'm going to need one more answer.
Okay.
Okay?
Well, all right.
Okay. Would this happen to be a donut shop that made the maple bacon donut famous?
Yes. You know what I'm talking about. It's
100%.
Almost, you know what? It's almost scary famous is how famous it is.
Yes.
It's wickedly famous.
Yeah, I would almost say the place is magical.
It is magical, like a dark force of donuts. We're talking about Voodoo Donut.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. If you haven't been, they're in a couple states now. Very small, still number of shops, but very local. It began in Portland. Two friends, they shared this entrepreneurial spirit and a flair for the business of show, as it were.
So show business?
Yeah, well, you can say it that way if you want. But
okay, sorry.
I don't know why you want to rain on my parade, but...
Well, hey, there's no business like the donut business.
That's right. What's great about this is these two guys that started the business, Voodoo Donut.
Wait, were those their names, Voodoo and Donut?
No. They have names. I don't have them here. We will post a link on the website.
So for our purposes, though, as we're recording this, we'll just say they're Voodoo and Donut.
Okay, we'll say Mr. Voodoo and Mr. Donut. So they had this neighborhood area, and they had located a little storefront shop. And what they decided with some research was that the neighborhood needed a donut place. There were no donut shops. So what they did is they added their flair to it. This donut shop is anything but conventional. Let me tell you about some of the flavors, Elliot. You said you've never been there.
No.
And, they're not big places, by the way. They're like people lined out the door here to get these donuts. One flavor, known as Old Dirty Bastard, which is like crumbled up Oreo cookies and chocolate.
Okay.
Another flavor, one of my personal favorites, is Captain My Captain, which is sprinkled with Captain Crunch.
Oh, I thought it tasted like old poetry.
Yeah. And salt. And okay,
the flop sweat of the prep school student.
Yeah. And the most popular and my favorite is the Voodoo Doll, which is a person-shaped donut filled with raspberry jelly, topped with chocolate frosting, and a pretzel steak stuck right in the middle. And on a good day, when you get these Voodoo Doll donuts, the raspberry jelly's kind of oozing out from the stab wound.
Oh, this reminds me. I have an item on my to-do list. The next time we're together, can I get a lock of your hair, please?
Don't ask Todd. Okay. Yeah, sure. All right, I'm getting back into my part of the story here then. They use several marks for this shop, and everything kind of has this hand-done, do-it-yourself flavor, which is great. It really fits them. The main mark is a person with these hollow eyes, wearing a top hat, popping from the hole of a donut. His arms are outstretched, and he has a scepter in his left hand, and on top of the scepter is another donut. Because he's got a giant donut that he's kind of living in, right? And then he has a scepter of a donut.
Okay, donut magic.
Yeah, of course. The words voodoo circle the top of the donut around the guy's head, and they're set in this font that appears like it was built out of like wood parts,
Mm-hmm. Like a clubhouse sort of situation.
Yeah. Really, yeah. Again, like very hand done. And then another symbol that they use is kind of a Mr. Blobby character. Do you know who Mr. Blobby is, Elliot?
No.
Okay. British children's show. Creepy. Mr. Blobby. Look it up. It's kind of like just this bulbous character. Anyway, this donut looks like that, kind of rounded, arms stretching out, wide mouth and eyes open, like really wide open, and a graphic swirl on the tummy, which is where you would stab with the pretzel stick.
I'm looking at this guy right now. He sort of looks like Ghost of Twinkie.
Yeah. It's sort of like if Twinkie meets The Exorcist, right?
If you eat enough Twinkies, you will also meet The Exorcist.
That's right. And another visual that they use quite a lot, too, is on the box itself. The colors they use are Pepto-Bismol pink, and this dark, almost black color printing on the box has this hand-drawn word, voodoo. The words, actually, voodoo and donut are hand-drawn, but the V of voodoo is actually a snake looking off towards the left, and then the body and tail of the snake sort of form a top part. So it's like they took the Vans logo and made it evil and creepy and wonderful and hand drew it. So basically a donut shop that is fun for the whole family.
Yes. And, it might be worth coming back from the dead for.
Yeah, and the donuts are good, by the way, too.
Oh, well, that's
It's not just marketing.
Well, this sounds delicious. I think this is a great way to end our little collection of logos. So let's circle back around. See, that was my oblique donut reference. You see what I did there?
Oh, yeah, that was oblique.
Yeah. Well, most donuts aren't totally circular, so it'd have to be oblique.
Okay.
Yeah, there's enough with the geometry humor.
Yeah. Let me put on my union suit and circle back around with you.
Yeah, well, open the trapdoor, your union suit, because, anything can happen as we jump back into this. Thinking about this collection of logos, I would say of all of them, I won't say that a majority of them are unprofessional, because I don't feel that's fair. I think we're celebrating them all because they all work. At the end of the day, the vernacular that they have and the audience that they serve, it all just works. I would say the Royal Cup is the one that was very obviously done by a professional individual or firm. It's very clean, very thoughtful, very well done. Again, a number of visual puns. Like I mentioned, you look at it at first glance, it's a lion. You go back and you look at it, you're like, oh, he's wearing a crown. You go back and you look at it again, oh, he's drinking tea or drinking coffee. And it's just so poetic in its simplicity, and I just absolutely love it, as I've said. Then you go to Yamato, which was drawn by the founder over 100 years ago, which reminds me of Voodoo Donut. For all we know, Mr. Voodoo and Mr. Donut could have been the two guys who drew this, right? And then Gashopper, somebody probably just went to a sign shop, or they were opening their gas station up, and someone said, hey, would it be all right if we made this? What a fun name. Maybe, for all I know, the sign company came up with the name. I mean, anyone's guess. But somebody really took the ball and ran with it. And that's what makes it so great.
I agree with you. And what I love is that, as you started off by saying, these are sort of in the neighborhood of lowbrow. Well, probably I'm going to exclude Royal Cup. That certainly is a different swing at what we're talking about. But they all are kind of a take on representing the brands that they represent. They're interesting marks. They're showing us that everything doesn't have to be built around the golden ratio, and it doesn't have to be smooth and perfect, that it can deliver character, and it can deliver interest, and it can create this wonderful brand vibe just by being what it is.
Yeah, and again, it's authentic to what it is. It's true to what it is, the culture of those companies. And a lot of these guys, as you mentioned, they just kind of threw the rule book out the window. If you go back and look at the Voodoo Doughnuts, there is some consistency, but a lot of inconsistency. If you think about logo design based around best practices with how people read from left to right, the snake in Voodoo Doughnut, he's looking in the wrong direction. He's looking to the left. The cat carrying the kitten in Yamato, it's carrying the kitten in the wrong direction, right? Although in Japanese, it's actually a different visual syntax when you read. But nevertheless, it's perfect. Like the black cat fireworks, the kitty, if I remember correctly, he's looking to the left as he's shrieking, right? He's not looking to the right. So he's fighting the way the words are going too. So all of these things, I think in some way that's what adds to the joy of all of these. Everything except the lion, the grasshopper, the G in the grasshopper. You can't flip that. It doesn't make any sense. So, it all just breaks the rules, and breaking the rules is really what makes it work.
Yeah, it's the librarian taking the glasses off, and now she's a supermodel, shaking the hair and looking to the left.
Yes.
All of a sudden a supermodel.
Well, the lighting is better when you look that way.
I think that is. I think you're right. That sounds great. Well, that sounds like a wonderful, insightful place to leave this.
Well, Todd, I really loved, really it's sort of a stroll down memory lane, but also, at least for me, it was a drive across town.
Yeah. And for me, it was a good reminder that I need to go get some donuts.
Oh, I could go for some donuts right now.
And gas.
Oh, I already have that.
All right, Elliot. Later.
All right, man. Thanks so much.
Hi, while we have your attention, if you want to learn more about us and the podcast, there are a few ways to do it.
Visit our website at twodesignerswalkintoabar.com. All of that is spelled out. No numbers.
Kind of a long URL, so do yourself a favor and bookmark it. Once you're there, you can find links to more information about the subjects in this episode, our episode archive, and information about both of us.
Wait, we do want people to visit, right?
Well, oh, and look for us on social media. You can find those links on our website as well.
And while we're at it, if you have a friend who you feel will dig on our rambling,
tell him or her what we're up to.
While we can't guarantee that they will remain your friend, we can guarantee that they will listen to at least 30 seconds of whatever episode you send them the link to.
That's being a little shameless.
And speaking of being shameless, it wouldn't be a proper ask if we didn't mention that if you like what you hear, you can also make a donation via our website. We have a Nigerian prince handling all transactions for us.
In fact, he told us to mention that we have stickers to mail to anyone who donates $10 or more. Are we done?
We're done.
We're done.